Have I done that right? If I put my screen back on. Right, we should just be back with the panel now, and I have some questions that we can put to you. So, what are the key steps when creating a built environment? I guess, is that a digital built environment or just the built environment in general?
Just to say, Matt, I'm afraid your screen, well, for me, your screen is still showing. I'm not sure if
it is still showing. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is it gone now? Oh, there we go. Stop sharing screen. It was all going so well until then, wasn't it?
I was going to say,
I'm guessing that question is directed at me. I'm guessing.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, so the thing I didn't have time, obviously all of us had a bit of a whistle stop in each of our prep. We could probably each have been an hour or more for each of our ones. So I think that the key thing that underpins a national digital twin would be an information management framework, because really everything that we're talking about, and I think all the visuals show, is data. So really, in the most basic thing, you don't actually, all this WYSI stuff we've just seen doesn't actually have to be all that WYSI stuff. It can just be the data about a thing. So you could actually define a digital twin as just saying the data of the physical asset. And then if you want to be able to connect the data, then it's got to be interoperable. So and what we could do is we could have everybody do it their own way, and then sort of have APIs and you know, just be very, very expensive and make it very, very difficult, which is the way we do things at the moment. So really, if we were going to do it, because we've got a blank sheet of paper and we're doing it from scratch, and as you've probably seen, the construction industry, I would say, is very behind. Some of the amazing stuff you've seen going on in other sectors, I'd say we're not quite up to that speed. Would be to set up an information management framework, and all that would really be is almost saying the rules of the game so that we can all play. So you can still compete and play in the game, but you've got the rules of the game, and everybody knows how they're playing. And so that would be the thing that would underpin it. And then the second thing I would say is that, just to reinforce what I said before, is that we're not talking about one giant simulation of the whole of the built environment in the UK. So that's not what it means. It doesn't mean that those things you've just seen presented, that you'd be able to do that across the whole of the UK for any asset, anywhere, at any time. It's not that. It is very much that everybody has their own digital twin in whatever form they've done it. But if it's within this information management framework, it's interoperable, and then you connect when required. So for example, with the buses, now we're able to know when a bus is arriving, and you need that in real time. So you can now look up and see, okay, the next bus is coming in 3 minutes, and that's because of data that's coming from the bus itself. And then if it gets stuck in traffic, you've got real-time update. So that's really important. If it's like maintenance of a pipe underneath the ground, it could be that they need that weekly or monthly, or, you know, I don't know how often. So then it would be a waste if you were having real-time continuous data coming from it. It would be a waste of the resource of a person sort of monitoring all this, or the waste of the actual sort of technology. So it would only be connecting when it needs to be connected. So those are the two things I would say. Is one is that it's a federation of digital twins that connect when need to be, and the thing that's enabling that is an information management framework, which means that they can connect without having to have what are called translators in between them.
Perfect. Next question is, will 3D scans eventually replace retail or help with building versions of them in the metaverse? I think that's probably Simon.
That's a good question. I had a feeling something like that would come up. Will it replace? Not anytime soon, I don't think. I think there's a big drive to digitize everything, and everything has to be online. To be honest, we've all been using digital for quite a while. I mean, just think about your mobile. Everything is pretty much done on your mobile. That is a form of, that is digital. Will shops disappear? I mean, all we need to look at is stats. High street footfall numbers have reduced, and they've reduced for a number of different factors. Is it because people don't like shopping? No. Because at the same time, digital shopping figures have massively increased. I mean, the Black Friday and Cyber Monday figures I don't think have come out yet, so that'll be interesting to see what that is in comparison to previous years. I think digital twins just give an added window for people to, or medium to access. At the end of the day, we're all used to the Amazon Prime next day delivery type convenience of ordering, right? What's to say maybe that you could walk into a shop like one of the 3D models that we've shown there, and do your shopping that way? Probably so. I think it's definitely in the pipeline. There are clients of mine that are looking at that. It's already in place in terms of on Google Street View. You know, you can look for shops and you can, you know, Street View a virtual tour of a store. So yeah, there are other things in the Google pipeline I can share that there will be coming out regarding that, those, you know, tags and things like that. So yeah, will it replace fully? No, not yet anyway. Not anytime soon. But we are getting to full-blown digitization. But hey, I do like to go out and talk to people as well. So I'm gonna kind of like say no, not fully yet.
Well, you know, I mean, a very broad question. You covered it pretty well there.
Very broad.
The next question is, how specifically is augmented reality used in construction, and how is it used? So has anyone had particular experience with augmented reality in construction? Simon, you're nodding.
Yeah, so with I visited Microsoft Labs a while ago, and they were doing these Microsoft glasses, I think they're called. And yeah, that was really cool stuff, because you know, you literally put on the glasses, you're looking at a huge piece of something that's been constructed. If you can imagine these huge blocks, for example, or machinery itself, you put it on the glass, and the glass straight away is using AR, and it's telling you what it is, and you can walk around the object, and you can even interact with it. When I mean interact, you have these glasses, funny glasses on, and you're out there doing. But anyone else that's looking is just seeing you doing this and that. But really, you're interacting itself. So yes, Bill, you probably could expand on that, but I know definitely in the construction sector is something that they are using. It is actively being used at the moment. AR, very good on training elements as well. Doctors, in the doctor world, they use AR, and that's all when you have a digital representation of what you're looking at. It's digitized, and then you can interact with it. Bill,
we've used the HoloLens, the Microsoft HoloLens, the different versions. We've used them to wear and do scanning. We've done it with soldiers doing the looking around, wearing them to scan with it. But also the construction example I gave, you can use that same level to stand in that space and turn down the wall and look with the HoloLens to see what's behind the space. We've done some presentation in that area.
And just to combine our two worlds, they do dress rehearsals. So in construction now, that they can actually try it on site before they actually do it on site, and they actually get everybody in a room and they do a dress rehearsal. So I think that kind of brings our two worlds together. And for example, National Highways, when they were consulting with the public on some changes, they created it in Minecraft so that the public could actually go in and actually really see this is actually what it will feel like, and they use that for their consultation.
I think the more we get into it, the more advantages we'll find with that sort of technology. I mean, even just for planning a construction site, you know, if you use AR to see where all the houses will go, you probably won't put the skip on them, you know, the week before you have to dig the foundations. You know, it's things like that that are just very simple visual representations that are easy to understand by anyone. Right, I think we might be at the final question because we've got 3 minutes to go. So, hey, Bill, do we need to have any government-based certifications to operate for legal purposes, especially when contributing data for anything legal?
Oh, for the court cases, I'm assuming that's what they mean. Is there anything that has to be? For what we've done, no, it's for our market at least, it's been just we're helping the attorneys tell their story. So we will do a scan, whatever they would need done at that time. If it's an interior space, arson investigation, things like that, do a Matterport scan with it, and then you just drop the elements in. We have not had to have any certifications to say this is actual. You have to be prepared to testify that and basically give these stats on I used a Matterport that's accurate at this distance and things like that, but that's it.
I had a brief question actually on data security. Do you, obviously the Matterport is processed in the cloud, but you can bring in, you have a BLK to go on your desk. Do you process that locally? So because I'd imagine for the military, you don't want to be sending stuff back and forth to the cloud.
You can't for exactly that. They have some of their own cloud services. We kind of bypass some of that depending on what we use it. We've done some cloud processing from the BOK to go and the Leica scanners, but on the Matterport is working with the military to have some of its own cloud type stuff. Also, the things that are more sensitive, we will do local processing on. Not with the Matterport yet, that's not available, but for the BOK, the LiDAR, stuff like that, you can actually do local conversion to mesh.
And I would just add that it's the other stuff. On one of my slides, I said it's not just about digital twins, and it's the other stuff is just as important. And sometimes the digital stuff is the easy bit, and it's the things like the legal agreements around data sharing. On Credo, I think it took about 5 months, and that's nothing to do with the digital twin or the digitalization.
Yeah, it's the same with mapping out our utilities network and sharing where everything is underground. You know, it's obviously a great win for us all if we can share that, but it's tough to get the agreements.
Oh, sorry, I was like, no, sorry. No, I was just going to say, like, I think the whole digital twin term is definitely being thrown around everywhere, different sectors and things like that. But when you think about it, electric cars, if you look at a Tesla with the autopilots, or if you have a Mercedes, for example, or some of the cars, when you open up when you do a rear view, you go into, reverse, you get a camera, right? You sometimes get an aerial view, which for those Matterport users, they call it, it's just like an aerial dollhouse looking thing. It's all the tech is there already, and it's already right in front of us when you think about it. And when you think of where all the EV or the electric cars and the autopilot systems are going, it's a constant LiDAR system just mapping out as you're driving along objects and what it sees. I mean, even now, even if you don't have an electric car, your car will tell you on your speedometer 30 miles an hour. Did you ever notice that as soon as you see the car passes a 30-mile-per-hour sign, it's read that and it's telling you on your dashboard? The tech is there, and that is digitization. And it's in a way, it wouldn't surprise me if all of this is kind of like at some stage we'll create an overall national digital twin of a city as we go along. So the tech is exciting. I mean, the tech is there, and Bill, I mean, I and Melissa, I want to have chats with you guys afterwards for sure. Like I said, it's like hours. This is like 1 hour for all three of us. Matt, what are you doing to us, mate?
I think on that note, that is the hour, and a good note to end it on. The tech is there. It's what you do with it that counts. And so I'd like to thank all of our speakers, Melissa Zanoko, Simon Sadek, and Bill Gregory. You can find out more through their websites, which will be in the link afterwards. I just say we've been doing these things monthly. We won't be doing one in December. We will be doing another one on reality capture and laser scanning in January, and there will be a Matterport giveaway for all those that attend. So do make sure you sign up. But with that, I'd like to thank all my speakers and thank you for attending, and hopefully see you at the next one in January. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Take care, everyone. Ciao.